Burglars of Reddit, what are the best ways to keep you out of my house? Get an alarm system and use the sticker's sign saying that you have one. I'm more likely to skip a house with an alarm system. Don't make it easy for me. Lock your doors, close your windows, and most importantly, lock them. 95% of the houses I have been in I just walk through the door or climb through an open window. Don't leave tools laying around, that's going to make my job easier. Ladders, saws, drills, sledgehammers, putty knives, etc. All of these make it easier for me to get in your house. Contrary to popular belief, most dogs aren't a problem. Unless they've been trained to be dog guards, it doesn't take much to make one friendly. Don't advertise. If you just bought an expensive piece of electronic equipment, jewelry, tools, etc. don't brag about it in public, don't leave the trash in sight, and don't post about it on Facebook. USC security hedges under your windows. If your house has rose bushes and your neighbors don't, I'm more likely to try their house first. If it's irreplaceable, don't leave it out in the open. Get a safe for stuff like that and make sure you bolt it down. I'll happily take a safe with me and open it later. Don't live in a nice neighborhood. When I'm looking to steal, I don't go to the poor neighborhoods. I go to the subdivisions and wealthier areas. Don't assume I'm going to wait until it's dark to rob a place. Between 9 AM and noon are the best times to hit. Most everyone is gone to work, those who aren't are running errands or sleeping. That being said, invest in motion sensor lights. If someone is outside your house at night, this can help. Finally, be suspicious and alert. Is there someone new walking your neighborhood that doesn't live there? Is someone getting yard care pest control deliveries outside of what's normal for them? Does the same car keep cruising around at different times? You see, I'll study a neighborhood before I strike. Sometimes I'll spend upwards of a month. I'll note times people leave and arrive. I'll note when if cops patrol certain areas and when. I'll pay attention to delivery times, mailman times, and various other service people to see when they arrive, what they do, how they're dressed. I'll watch to see who leaves windows open, who forgets to lock their doors, and so on. It doesn't take much time to make a hit and get away either. On average I spend 8 minutes in a house. Rarely more than that. If you're in very student-y areas of UK cities, when you order a taxi get it from a slightly different address, like a block of flats with lots of lights on, or a house you know has no one living in it and be waiting outside it, or better yet, get it from outside a supermarket or a pub etc. In my city, certain cab drivers are in cahoots with burglars and let them know when a house is empty for most of the night because the students are out clubbing, even if they leave a light on etc. Edit. Not a burglar, just a student in the city, Liverpool, for everyone asking, which is a lot of break-ins on every road in the student area. And get your stuff insured. Landlord insurance generally covers the building, not your possessions. Deleted covered a lot, he is probably legit. I don't steal anymore at all but I used to a lot. Alarm signs are the biggest deterrent. I am going in through your front door. I am not going to check windows or creep into your backyard or any sketchy shit like that. The neighbors calling the cops is really the only danger. I dress nicely in a collared shirt and slacks. I am wide and clean cut. Fairly good looking. A bit like a police officer. Your dog is useless. There is too much on the line to worry about. Fido. I have never been attacked by a dog, but if I was, I look for houses with the least viewpoints from the neighbors. Having an open front porch is your best defense. Park in your garage. Parking in front of the garage is a telltale that there is likely no other car moving in and out of the garage and the driver is likely at work. I can tell because of the discoloration. Pick up your newspapers. Stop your mail and newspaper if you are leaving town. Stop your mail and newspaper if you are leaving town. If I pop a door and an alarm goes off I will probably leave. Make friends with your neighbors so they know who should be at your house. Going in and someone being home is terrifying. I don't want to hurt anybody and I certainly don't want to get shot. Also the risk for getting caught just went from 3 years to 25. I will run screaming from the frailest old lady. Again this isn't me anymore but perhaps it gives you some insight. Stay safe. Edit. I see some guys in here saying to have a robust door. I have never been stopped by a door. It is very easy to kick a door and I would carry a flat bar. A solid core door with heavily reinforced framing might work. Spend big if you want this to be a viable defense. Edit. No I wouldn't want to hurt your dog but yes I would have if it attacked me. If you have an 8-foot tall fire-breathing dog then yes it's probably a good deterrent. Make sure your dog's fire breathing is on point because none of us want your dog to get hurt. Yes, if you put a lot of effort into security, it will deter thieves. People think a large dog would be a good deterrent, but I generally avoided those annoying small yapping dogs that never shut up. I often went through a bedroom window, whether it was unlocked or not. I'm committing a major felony. I didn't care about a broken window. I usually went straight to the master bedroom because that's where the good stuff was. Things a homeowner can do, besides armed guards around the clock, get a dog that doesn't like strangers. I don't care if it's big or small or threatening or friendly, as soon as one dog barks, the whole neighborhood starts barking and announcing a burglar's presence. Cameras, inside and out. I knew a guy who was caught because he walked by someone's webcam inside their house and ended up on the news. Make the cameras visible. If I see a camera, I'm not just moving on to the next house, but I'm going several streets away. Lock back fence and restrict access to backyard. That's generally where I broke into the house from. Beware of dog and security alarm signs and stickers are completely worthless. I once broke into a house, though a doggy door. There was no dog home. Try not to have any stools or anything in the backyard. They make climbing through windows easier. It's funny, I was just going to post a life product about this subject. Life product. If you're a burglar, talk to children. They'll tell you everything. Example, the other day we were at the store with my 5-year-old. A random woman smiles at her and says, "Hi. Aren't you pretty? What's your name?" My daughter then proceeds to rattle off her full name, first, middle and last, her mommy and daddy's name, what city she lives in, the fact that her older sister just got a new TV and a Nintendo Wii U, and that she's so excited because we're all going to be taking a trip to visit our family in California next month. All in the space of about 30 seconds. She just had so much shit she was excited to share with her new friend she couldn't stop talking. I once was visiting a female friend of mine who lived in a bit of a shitty neighborhood. At the time I was working construction and swung by after work. I got to the house and took my size 12 work boots off and left them on the front porch. I tend to carry a pair of flip-flops in my bag and changed into those. Then we hit a patio for some sunshine beers. I ended up forgetting my boots at her place and was in no rush to get them back as I had another pair. Now I do not know how true this is, but she swears that having a pair of big work boots right by her front door made her safer. I had pretty much forgotten about them as they were on their way out, but she left them right where they were. She had less craziness happen in her front yard, less strangers knocking on her door, and she was not broken into again at that place. Of course, it could have been the smell. To the legitimate burglars in here, I feel like I need to tell you something. My brother and one of my friends, completely independently of each other, have almost a fantasy about shooting a burglar. They both have this romantic visualization of them being the good guy hero and burglars being the perfect example of a bad guy that is coming into their house to kill their family. They daydream and plan for this scenario. My brother even has his alarm siren turned off when he's home, so it only rings his phone and won't scare an intruder away, like he's hunting or something. I just want you to know that these people are out there. If you break into their house, you are getting shot by a guy with a raging hero boner. And I frequently hear the same thing, shoot to kill, because if you don't, they'll sue you. It's not worth it. Stay out of other people's houses. I grew up with a whole lot of thieving scumbags. Bank robbers, carjackers, Here are my suggestions, in no particular order. Get a big fucking dog. Very few thieves want to deal with that. If they aren't specifically targeting your house, then they will move on to the next one. For houses they are targeting, they will leave poisoned food outside. Keep an eye out for that. Don't use window air conditioners. This was by far the most common way to gain access by my friends. Kick in the AC and climb on in. If nothing of value was found, the AC could be taken in for scrap metal. Motion detecting lights. They are a minor annoyance. Will scare off the brainless junkies. Visible cameras. Can be fake. Though they're so cheap, just get real ones. Don't leave your garage door open. Thieves like to drive around nice neighborhoods looking for people who left their garage open. They love a situation where someone might be mowing their backyard. Quickly hop out of the car, run into the garage, grab as many tools as they can, and run. If they brought a truck, they'll be grabbing bigger stuff. You probably won't even notice or know what happened. Make it a royal pain in the ass to get into your backyard. 10 feet fence would be nice. No one likes breaking in through the front door or front windows. No one likes scaling 10 feet fences either. This complements the get a big fucking dog concept. Don't keep your car keys on a hook next to the front door. Newer cars are impossible for an average thief to hotwire. Easy as hell to kick in your front door and snatch the keys straight off the hook, though. Related to the above, don't answer the door for strangers. If thieves are casing out the neighborhood, they will pretend to be magazine salesmen, Jehovah's Witnesses, etc., just to take a peek of what's inside. Especially that hook for car keys. Once again, a big fucking dog can help here. Get an alarm system. If you can't pony up for that, get the stickers and signage off eBay. Don't keep anything in your car. Especially work trucks and vans. Hell, I even know of someone who robbed a cop car. Keep your vehicles empty. Locks don't fucking matter. The lock on the back door of a work van can be popped out in under 5 seconds with a slide puller, and a screw. The locks on your house are fucking useless too. If you're really paranoid and have a good budget, steel door frame plus solid steel door. I don't have much of any other advice on that. Don't trust locks. Lock your doors. Even though I don't think much of locks, don't leave your house unlocked either. Deadbolts on every exterior door. Keep expensive stuff out of sight. Your 70 flat screen TV should not be visible from the street. Your MacBook Pro shouldn't be kept right in front of your first floor office window. Don't invite strangers over. Hosting an open invitation kegger is a terrible idea. If a thief shows up, they are either stealing something right then and there, or they are casing the place to come back later. If you have a safe, use it. It's utterly stupid how many people who have them just leave them open all the time because it's annoying. If you have guns, try to keep that information to yourself. There are whole subsets of thieves dedicated to scouting out gun owners and robbing them when they're not home. Don't post your entire social life publicly on social media. The people scouting out robberies aren't always across the street in a sketchy van. They're just following you on Facebook, Twitter, Foursquare and Instagram. Keep anything that is really expensive in a bank security box. If your grandmother passed on a $50K diamond ring to you, don't keep it in your jewelry box. Don't do illegal shit. The houses of drug dealers are robbed on a consistent basis because the thieves know the cops won't get called. And the propensity for those victims to have expensive jewelry and electronics. Stay on the up and up, and a lot of trouble will avoid you. Leave the TV and lights on when you're not home. Not only does it give the impression someone is home, it also will entertain and comfort your big fucking dog. If you're in an apartment, do whatever you can to add more locks, if possible according to your lease, alarm system, cameras, etc. Lots of shady maintenance men and landlords out there. Lock your patio door, even if you live on the 10th floor. Scaling the sides of most buildings is actually pretty fucking easy. If you are prohibited from owning a big fucking dog, a little annoying yip-yapping ankle-biting dog can work. Cats are fucking useless. Keep the flaunting to a minimum. If you have an expensive vehicle, at least try to keep it in the garage. If you have lots of expensive tools, don't fly a Snap-on banner outside your garage. Don't put up a "This house is protected by Smith & Wesson" sign. Read up and be aware of how most popular scams work. Water meter scams, fen salesman scams, etc. Most of the time, someone will be distracting you somehow while their accomplice sneaks into your house. Just don't talk to strangers and you will avoid all of them. Junkies love to rob the elderly. Medications and jewelry. Your broke college ass is probably safe, but please make sure your grandmother is all set. Don't leave an extra key under your doormat, under a rock, in your mailbox, on top of the door frame, etc. Seen a couple of these supposed experts saying your dog is useless. Bullshit. If you have a little yappy dog, that makes sense. My home was broken into several years ago during the middle of the day. I had a lab GSD mix. Like a lot of people would say, nicest dog ever, would probably kiss you to death, blah blah blah. I got a call from the cops because someone driving by called the police after seeing a bloody man in a ripped shirt running away from our front door. When I got home, my front door area just inside the house had what looked like a little dried blood on the floor and door. The police said when they arrived the dog was just lying there staring at the door. The police said he barked as they arrived, but quickly and easily calmed down. Nothing was taken, and only a small table by the door where we put our keys and stuff was knocked over. Long story short, guy brought himself to the hospital and the cops picked him up as he was leaving. We didn't press charges for breaking in or anything, just let the police handle it, and never actually saw the guy, but the police officer told us his cheek was totally torn from the side of his mouth toward his jawline. We figured Pickles did enough justice, and our lives would be easier to just move on.